dirty bird. How could you?
Oh, you know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. Wow, what a bad movie. I have sat on this since I watched it yesterday, and let me just say it right now. Jeepers Creepers Reborn is not a good movie.
What the fuck happened? Hey!
Oh, hell no. So Jeepers Creepers Reborn is the fourth film and a reboot of the series intended to serve as the first of a new trilogy set apart from Victor Salva's original trilogy. This is directed by Timo Vuorensola in his American debut. Stars Sidney Craven, Emerald Adams, and Jaru Benjamin. Plot of this movie is that we follow an interracial couple and Laine begins to experience premonitions associated with the urban myth of the Creeper. She believes that something supernatural has been summoned and that she is the center of it all. Yeah, they went there. Now, before I get started, I will say this right now. Despite everything about Victor Salva that we all know, I am a fan of these Jeepers Creepers movies. I do like this franchise. It's entertaining. They're not high art, but they're entertaining creature feature films. And, yeah, again, I know about the director and his past, Victor Salva. Please do not comment that here. But when it comes to that original series of films, I can enjoy them. They're entertaining, be fun, with some fun moments. And you have an interesting creature that has the potential to be one of the more well-respected horror icons if you can get him out of the hands of its original creator. But those movies, I do think, are entertaining enough. They got their issues, but I can enjoy them somewhat. So when it comes to Jeepers Creepers Reborn, under the hands of a new director, under the hands of a new team, and a new actor, even though I do miss Jonathan Breck as the Creeper, I went into this with some optimistic mindsets. And even despite the production troubles, I was still going into it with an optimistic mindset. Yes, you could easily tell that there was some stuff going on as I had to film this during the pandemic. And of course, when seeing the first stills of the movie, yes, you could see it is noticeable. But I still went in with optimistic mindset. And even with the negative reactions, I still went in and gave this movie a fair chance because I want to be optimistic, as I do enjoy a little creature features like Jeepers Creepers and such. And usually, when I see people over-hating, I'm either in the minority, or I'm like, that movie's not good, but let's calm it down a little bit. Or usually I'll be like, I don't like the movie either, but calm down. Not this time!
Oh, hell no!
This motherfucking movie was abysmal. And as a Jeepers Creepers fan, I cannot believe, even though this is voiceover, I cannot believe this. I seriously cannot believe that how this turned out. You have a new team, you have a new cast of characters, you have a new guy playing the Creeper. What happened? I honestly know this was made during the pandemic and they did not have the much to work with. But there is no excuse for how awful this is, for how disastrous this is. Especially when we have been a great year for horror movies like Multiverse of Madness, X, Pearl, Barbarian, even Morbius. Even though I wasn't a fan of that at least had more effort than this garbage did. I'm disappointed. as a fan of the Jeepers Creepers character, I'm disappointed. But I should have seen the red flags coming. I knew the moment where I saw the trailer where the green screen for the sky looked fake as all hell, we were gonna be in trouble. Now, if I have to give any sort of compliments, any sort of positives I can find, I will say that I think the actors here are fine. Not all of them, but I think all of the actors in this movie, especially legends like Dee Wallace, they are fine. I also think that the interracial couple, the two actors who played this interracial couple, which is a very nice sight to see, I think are fine. They do the best they can. They did their job well as the new Creeper. He did the best he could with what he was given. It's not John DeBreck, but whatever. There were a few entertaining moments of horror, and the Creeper design, despite it looking different, I think is fine. That's all I got for positives, because
Mr. Simpson, would you please
Shut up, Judge!
everything else, from direction standpoint, from writing standpoints, green screen effects, even the characterization is bad. Let's start off small and work my way up. Characters in this movie are completely utter useless and bland. You don't get to care about a single character here. Granted, I am praising the fact you get an interracial couple, but they don't really take the time to give us reasons as to why we should care about them in this situation. All you know is that she's pregnant, and then the black guy wants to propose to her. And they want to go to a fair, and she's willing to do cosplay for him. That's all the characterization you're gonna get. The other characters in this movie are shit. You can barely even remember their names. And not on top of that, let me just say the green screen in this movie, again, I know this was shot during the pandemic, so you didn't have a whole lot to work with, but there are moments in here where the green screen is incredibly noticeable. The background skies, people in the background, and I know this actual production, I get that, but when your green screen looks like PlayStation 1 type crap, that is unacceptable. It is unacceptable. A few of the MCU movies have some not very good CGI parts, but there's still enough good CGI to overlook it. This just has the green screen look very bad. I know this is a low budget, but that's not an excuse. You gotta at least try a little bit harder than that. Also, from technical aspects, the editing in this movie is choppy. The kills are very choppy. You don't really get to see all the kills, who lives and who dies. Music in the movie, I guess, is fine, but again, the cinematography, granted, the director, like I say, they tried their best. The filmmakers tried their best with this, but that doesn't give you an excuse for how bad some of this looks. And I know this wasn't a $20 million budget. I know that, but come on. The least you can do is at least put a little bit more effort and use less green screen and actually go on the real location despite the pandemic situation. And don't even get me started on the director in this movie. Like, again, the actors are trying, but in the director, I can tell he was trying to make a decent effort, because no matter how much I rant on this movie or how many other movies I've talked about negatively, I can respect the fact that you tried. Unfortunately, here, because of the low budget and because of how bland and freaking Sharknado-ish it looks, this almost feels like a fucking Asylum movie. And that is one of my biggest issues. I should not be feeling like I'm watching an Asylum movie when I'm watching a Jeepers Creepers movie. This is a new team of people, and you have the chance to do this right. I don't know what happened. And I'm not even going to say anything about the ending of this movie because I don't want to give any spoilers away unless you want to see this on TV or such. But I'm just dumbfounded. Like, you would think with a new team we could get a great enough Jeepers Creepers film. But unfortunately, even with this being cursed, you can't even give us that. But honestly, if someone else had to have rights to this franchise, Blumhouse would have done a better job of bringing this franchise back. If you can't learn from your mistakes with these other two, I don't really want to see. This franchise just needs to go because I am a fan of the first story, but if the fifth and sixth movie or the second and third movie of this Planet trilogy is going to be even worse, I will see them. But if they're going to be any worse, then you've officially buried this franchise into the ground, and that is a shame because the Creeper can be a very interesting, awesome horror icon. He is one of my most underrated horror icons. He's very interesting and creative, despite the controversial director. But all in all, Jeepers Creepers Reborn is a very disappointing and very bad film into Jeepers Creepers film. And this is easily the worst of this series. I went into this with an optimistic mindset, and unfortunately I was completely let down. If it hadn't been for the few things I was able to find positive about this movie, this would easily get more extremely hated, as I already am. But right now, I'm just going... No, matter of fact, even with those positives, that doesn't come close to saving you. So you are getting the magnification of me saying, get out of my face. Don't talk about it. Don't watch it. Don't freaking see it. If you are a Jeepers Creepers fan, for some of us who like this franchise, watch the other three movies. They're much better, despite the controversial director behind them. They're much better than this. Well, that's gonna do it for this video. If you guys like what you see here, be sure to subscribe to my channel right here. I have plenty more content as far as movies, TV, and anime and music goes. I will also leave a playlist here and something here if you guys want to check out what I'm about. Join the Epictasticness, stay epitastic, and you guys keep it cool.